And onto this story, President Trump is now giving Iran extra time to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, extending the deadline, claiming that he is planning a pause here on strikes on Iran's energy sites for now 10 more days. He says Iran is begging to make a deal, despite Iranian leaders claiming the opposite, saying they're not involved in negotiations.
They'll tell you we're not negotiating. We will not negotiate. Of course they're negotiating. They've been obliterated. Who wouldn't negotiate? They are begging to make a deal.
And we do know Iran and Israel exchanging more fire today. The IDF says it's launched a wave of strikes on the heart of Tehran as Iran keeps up its attacks on neighboring Gulf states, with Iranian drones and missiles reportedly in both Kuwait and the UAE. NewsNation's international correspondent Robert Sherman live for us in Tel Aviv with the very latest on a potential peace deal. Robert, what do we know about progress on this part of the potential peace deal?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is between the lines here, Alicia. I mean, of course, you've had Iran coming out and saying that there are no negotiations taking place. But we do know from mediators in Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt that messages at the very least are being passed back and forth between Washington and Tehran. And according to the White House, they have placed this proposal on the table, a 15-point plan that Iran has the ability to either green light or negotiate back on. So, I mean, that is at the base level where these talks stand, which is why the president says that he's giving a bit more breathing room and time in order for these conversations to unfold behind the scenes. This was his statement here. As per Iranian government request, please let this statement serve to represent that I am pausing the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6th. Talks are ongoing, and despite statements being made in the media, they are going very well. I would emphasize, Alicia, that as you have these conversations taking place in the background, that does not mean the fighting is slowing down. Just today alone, we have seen Saudi Arabia, we have seen Bahrain, we have seen Jordan, the UAE, all coming under fire from Iran. Here in Israel, over the last 24 hours, we've had over a dozen alerts, 2 just in the last couple of hours here. You're looking at some of the destruction that rescue workers were picking through on Thursday, with the Israelis coming out today, slamming Iran, accusing them of targeting civilian sites and saying, even as these talks are taking place, they intend to escalate. IDF strikes on Iran will escalate and expand to additional targets and domains that assist the regime in building and operating weapons against Israeli civilians. From the American side, Central Command says that their focus has been on launch capabilities for Iran, ballistic missiles and drones, with new footage of those strikes being released by American forces today. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard, however, giving a new warning to civilians here in the Middle East to steer clear of any area, including residential spaces where U.S. service members may be, viewing all of them as legitimate targets. Alicia?
Yeah, Robert, so important to point out, the increased attacks amid this effort for diplomacy. And speaking of diplomacy, we know that there's also a diplomatic effort in Europe, right? G7 nations. What are we seeing with that, and what could come out of that?
Yeah, that's Secretary of State Marco Rubio leading that delegation there for foreign ministers of the G7. Of course, the president has been very clear that he's been disappointed with NATO allies, European allies, general allies of the U.S. as a whole for not assisting so far with the operations in the Middle East or the Strait of Hormuz to this point. And so Secretary of State Marco Rubio certainly going to be tasked with having those conversations there. You see him with the French foreign minister as well, who has been leading some other conversations with leaders around the globe about Strait of Hormuz operations. Over 20 nations have signed on to assisting with getting the Strait of Hormuz reopened. That includes Gulf states, European members as well. They haven't specifically said what their role is going to be or exactly how involved they intend to be throughout all of this. But this is the major flashpoint here, Alicia, with the IRGC emphasizing again today, the Strait of Hormuz is closed unless that ship that attempts to pass through has the direct blessing of Iran.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.